Hey, welcome back to Scribbles to Skill. Today I'll be starting another sketchbook tour for 2024. This is part one of two other sketchbooks that I filled for 2024. So in this sketchbook, this is kind of where I got more serious about sketching more consistently. So let's get started. And Millie, she says hi, my little assistant. She's going to stay on standby just in case we need her throughout the video. So these are the other two sketchbooks that I filled for 2024. This was the second one, and then this was the last one for the end of the year. So we'll go through this in another video, and I hope you join me for that. So about the sketchbook itself, this is a spiral bound Canson watercolor sketchbook with 140 gram acid-free paper. And I decided to cover the front jacket of the book with craft paper because I wanted to just make it my own and get my little artwork on here. I titled it The Art Spot. Another reason why I covered it was also because I usually like to have pockets inside of my sketchbook, so where I can kind of collect different things that I gather throughout the year, whether that's swashes that I did on separate pieces of paper, or sketches that I also drew on random pieces of paper. So I'll just kind of collect them and put them in there. Most of the stickers here came from Hobby Lobby, as well as the craft paper that I used to cover it. So before we go into what's inside the pocket, let me go over what's on the outside here. So I started this January 2024, and I just wrote a few things to kind of encourage me along the way and remind me to keep going and to stay motivated. So this was from watching a movie called The Art of Us. And I believe these are probably quotes from the movie. And it just says that real art is having the courage to share it. And if you're good at something, own it, share it with the world. So that's what I'm trying to do, is just share my art. Now, whether it's good or not, that's in the eye of the beholder. But, sharing my journey is my goal here. So I also watched a movie called Miss Potter, and that was great, very inspiring, and I just got a general kind of motivation from that. And I just wrote down here that even when no one believes in you, believe in yourself and believe in what you have to offer. Whether that's big or small, everyone has something to offer, everyone has value. So your artwork is for someone out there, so share it. All right, so in the pocket, I have some swashes. I have this Gouache that I swashed, and this Winsor and Newton palette that I also swashed here. So I do this because I usually, when I'm painting, I like to kind of keep it in front of me so I can see the colors. Sometimes I swash it within the sketchbook, but I really prefer to have it just outside of the sketchbook so I can kind of look at it when I am in the middle of painting. And in the sketchbook, it's mainly watercolor, gouache, and ink. And for the ink, I mainly like using this Lamy Safari fountain pen. I've got a few other ones, but this is my go-to, so I really enjoy using this. Okay, back to this. So again, this is from Jess Carp. So this is her artwork. She turned into postcards and stickers. And I forgot I even had these stickers in here because they're super cute. Aren't these adorable? So I need to put these somewhere. And then, so depending on what level of Patreon you're at, then you get, some of these nice little goodies. All right, so for the first page here, so this is an image I got from a journal of mine that I recreated here in watercolor. The original image is just in pencil in my journal. So this is me dreaming of having an art studio, probably me sipping some coffee while I look at the stars. So just dreaming. And it's important to dream and take whatever steps you can to, work towards achieving that dream. So sometimes it's little steps, sometimes you can take big steps, but just take a step forward. All right, so I really like urban sketching. It helps me practice perspective, which is a skill I want to get better at. So I do try to practice that quite often. So this is, again, just watercolor and ink. Most of the photo references came from the Unsplash website or Pexels. If I didn't use either of those, then I will specifically mention where I got my photo reference from. So this is me here attempting to like create those realistic raindrops, but I don't think I achieved that in this attempt. So definitely want to try that again. I haven't tried it since I did it here, so definitely want to try that again in the future. And there's Millie, my little assistant. This is her favorite spot in the living room. So this is the couch that she loves to sit on. Sometimes she'll get on the top of this here, look out the window and bark at everyone passing by. Or she loves throwing this pillow on the floor. I mean, every time I leave the living room and come back, this pillow is on the floor. So she just loves to have the sofa all to herself. And I just wrote the quote that's on this frame, and it just says, "A beautiful day begins with a beautiful mindset." So just starting out your day with, a little hope and a little positivity can help your day go a little smoother sometimes. So this artwork came from someone on Instagram. I'm not quite sure how to say her name, but then this is from another YouTuber that I follow. I mentioned her in my previous video. Her YouTube handle is Jilly Arts or something like that. But this is from her Instagram page. I had a snow day off from work, so got some practice in on that day. Oh, and there's Millie again. So you will see her throughout all of my sketchbooks for the most part, because she's just my little sweetheart and I just love to draw her. And this is ink and watercolor. This is just watercolor. And then again, more urban sketching. This is all just watercolor. Actually, I'm starting to wonder whether this is gouache. At some point I was using watercolor and gouache, and I'm not sure where I did it. Maybe I mixed the two. I never really noted what I used, so it could be a mix of both. Just because I'm thinking these dark spots look much more opaque than watercolor usually gets, but it's possible. And this is just ink, and I just thought it looked nice, just like that. So here I was trying to take an image and make it a lot smaller, but I really messed up the perspective on that one. So that's sometimes a little bit challenging to do, but definitely good practice. So this is definitely gouache, as well as this. No ink in these, just gouache. And here's some swatches of that Himi gouache that I got this from Amazon. So this is just gouache, but it was a little bit hard to get the skin tone correct. So this one didn't come out too great, but I was just starting to really practice with gouache. And again, gouache. So the skin tone came out a little muddy, and then I just decided to kind of practice skin tone a little bit, skin and color blending here. So just diluting gouache as much as I could, just so I can blend different colors. I really enjoy using gouache because of the flexibility that it gives you to, either leave it real opaque or, water it down and use it more like a watercolor. So normally when I'm drawing something, I try to go in with pencil first so I can erase any mistakes, and then I go in with the ink and then watercolor. But for practice, I decided to just go with ink first and then watercolor. So there's a lot more mistakes throughout, but it's also good practice to kind of like you know, get away from pencil sometimes. So this is pencil, ink, and then gouache. And I like the way the line work came out on both of these. Now, I recently did the 100 heads challenge, and I've recreated several of the images in here, and she's one of them. So I redid her in that, but I actually like this one better than the latest one. I could have done better on the values on this one. But I kind of like it light like that because you can see all the line work, and sometimes I want the line work to shine more than the color. She's another one I redid, as well as him. Now her face came out a little wonky on this one. I definitely improved her in the 100 heads challenge. The car also came out funny. I'm not used to drawing cars. I definitely could use more practice in that area. This is another area I've recently neglected. I haven't done full body sketches in a while. In all my current sketchbooks, it's a lot of portraits, animal drawings, landscape, and urban sketching type things. I've kind of not done too many of these. So in future sketchbooks, I definitely need to work on doing more full body sketches. Now this one doesn't look quite like the photo reference, but it was okay. The bunny definitely is cute, so that's probably my favorite thing from this whole image. I still also need to work on getting fingers and feet correct. So this has been one of the most challenging images that I've tried to paint. So in the photo reference, the girl has a lot of dark shadows around her face. And that's a little challenging to capture for me, only because I'm always scared to go in with too much color or to get too dark. But then I always forget that when it dries lighter. So, you know, then I keep playing around with it, and then it sort of just gets muddy. So it didn't come out too great. And I've attempted to redo this one twice now. The third attempt is definitely better, but I'm still not happy with it. And I have a goal to really get this one. So I will keep trying to do this one again. Now 2-page spreads on spiral bound books are a little bit harder, but I don't mind it too much. I think this came out cute. And then here's me just playing around with the Winsor Newton palette that I have, just kind of creating other colors with the colors that it has. So this is the Winsor and Newton palette that I've used. I've also used Van Gogh. So this is the Van Gogh one. Both of these, I enjoy taking them with me, like if I go out and about and I want to sketch on the go or paint on the go. So these are handy to have. If you're interested, I'll link them in the description below. This is all gouache, no ink in this. And I have recreated these in the 100 Heads Challenge. Again, the skin tone messed up on that here. Now this was a timed sketch and paint hosted by Millie Olson. She's another YouTube artist that I follow, and I love her artwork, and her channel is great. So if you're interested, you can check her out. So this was, like I said, a 10-minute sketch and paint, which for me turned into 20 minutes because I've never done a timed sketch before. So it took me longer than what I was expecting, but overall, I like the way it came out. So I'm happy with the end result. And this is not timed. This is just a regular painting. This is all just probably gouache. Now this one's watercolor, colored pencil, and marker. And then this I painted at the request of a friend who loves to collect black and red roosters. I think her kitchen is decorated in that theme, so she's got a lot of little figurines and other kinds of decorative items with black and red roosters on it. So she asked me to paint one for her, and this is my first attempt to kind of work on one and try and see how it comes out for me. And then once I felt comfortable enough, I got some better quality paper to paint that for her on, and I gave her the original artwork, of course, and I made a copy of that artwork, but the copy came out terrible. The copy didn't really pick up the colors correctly, and it changed the tones on it. So this is a copy of that artwork that I gave her, and there was a lot more red throughout the rooster's hair here. This looks more orange in person here, so this was actually more red toned than this was. But the copy machine didn't do a great job at capturing that. Also, there was a nice background on it. The most important thing was that she was happy with it, and I just kept a record of it. And these might be my two favorite pieces in the sketchbook. I think I just like the simplicity of the color. I love the line work. I just like the way the line work stands out. And then while on Unsplash, I came across a mushroom, and it inspired me to create this little place I called Mushroomville. And the advertisement for this goes as follows. This is a multiplex condominium for the sophisticated fungi. Apply now, as there ain't mushroom left. So this was around March 19th, and so we're heading closer to spring. So now I start leaning towards artwork that's got that spring vibe. I got both of these from Pinterest, so I recreated someone's artwork. I like the colorfulness, the spring vibe that it has, especially the bunny. I love the way that came out. So in keeping with the theme of the season, I closed out with some beautiful spring flowers in a teapot. I just love the colors here. I thought it was a fun way to end it. And I finished this sketchbook on April 1st, 2024. So now it's time for Millie's Corner. Let's get Millie's favorite piece from this sketchbook. Hey Millie, come here. You ready? Let's see, which one is your favorite? Oh, I see. That's your favorite, huh? Millie is such a helpful assistant. She just knows how to keep me motivated. And now I want to motivate you. So remember that art isn't about being perfect. It's about growing. Every sketch, every page, every attempt matters. So start where you are and keep going. Don't give up on your dreams. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.